The Fret King brand seems to be your vehicle to allow you free rein to do pretty much anything you want, whether that's making to boutique quality or indeed wackiness, madness, however you want to describe it. Would that be fair?
I think that's a pretty good description of it, yes. Fret King started because of my frustration of being a guitar builder, but actually being in the hardware business at the beginning. It was difficult to do guitars because there would have been a conflict of interest. Obviously, I'm selling to guitar companies. Why have I got my own guitar company? Why have I got my own brand? So when I moved back to the UK and my manufacturing stopped in the US and I licensed everything, that kind of distanced me from the hardware a little bit, so it wasn't a conflict anymore. So I could then indulge the other passion, of course, which is building and designing guitars. And I've always wanted Fret King to have their own image, if you like, their own style. But of course, it's very, very difficult, as we said really in the answer to the first question. You know, it isn't broke, so why try to fix it? So you are sort of saddled with classic designs, and there's nothing wrong with the classic designs, but Fret King did allow me to address what I considered to be some points that were lacking in those original designs and bring them into the 21st century. So yeah, I mean, you're dead right. Fret King does allow me to, you know, build a quality guitar at whatever price point I want to build it at. It allows me to make changes to some classic designs without hurting a history that I'm trying to protect, because Fret King's history starts in the sort of late 90s. It doesn't go back to 1952, 1948. So with Fret King, I'm not painted into what I sometimes call nostalgia corner, whereas, you know, some companies are. It's like if they make changes to the guitars to actually make them better, what they're actually admitting is maybe they got it wrong in the first place. And the reality is, no, they didn't get it wrong. They did what they did at the time. But why do they have to keep repeating some of the mistakes in order to satisfy this nostalgia idea, rather than making a better guitar or a more user-friendly guitar, if you like? Regarding pickups, is there anything, I mean, given the plethora of pickups that are already out there, is there anything new that can be brought to the table, do you think? Yeah, I think there's lots of things that can be brought to the table as far as new ideas. But is it what people want? Again, we go back to the fact that we've grown up with these pickups. We're used to the sound of them. They create the sounds that we like. Are they the best sounds? I can't answer that. They're just different sounds. But we're used to our single coil sounds. Yes, you can wind them a bit hotter. You can wind them a little bit lower, if you like, less string pull with less Gauss and all the different things. So there's many things you can do with pickups, but the reality of it is you cannot make a buying decision on a guitar without a pickup on it. It's like you can't make a buying decision on a car without wheels on it. So pickups is a thing where people like to say, oh, I like a different sound, I like this. The question I always ask people is when they say, I want a certain pickup on a guitar to get that sound. You don't know what that pickup's going to sound like until you've actually got it on the guitar. Because it sounds a certain way on one style of guitar. Is that guitar a set neck? Has it got a neck angle? Is it 60 millimeters or, you know, 2.5 inches of mahogany, or is it 1 3/4 inches of alder? You don't know. So as soon as you put a pickup onto a guitar, that's when you really hear the pickup. So as far as pickups go for me, I knew I had to have some vintage voice single coils, some vintage voice humbuckers, and also slightly hotter versions for the guy that wanted the hot one. I'm certainly not offended if people take my pickups out of a guitar and put something else of their choice in. In fact, I actually take that as a compliment, because it means if I've built a good enough chassis for them to actually experiment with and put more money into and put different pickups into it, then I must have got that part of it right.